Hello, it's Ali C. Laurent here with my last video response, and I'm very happy because the saved the best for last because The Addams Family was definitely my favorite play that I've seen at Chico so far. And I really liked how it was a dark play, but again, it had like a William Shakespeare take on it because it had dark comedy, so it wasn't just like a bore the entire time. And I thought the students did really, really well at portraying the characters. Like growing up, I was a huge fan of the Addams Family. Like my parents made me watch it all the time. And so I thought that going in, I was going to be a huge critic and I was going to be like, this is nothing like the movie. But I think I really enjoyed it because I knew a lot of people who were acting in it, especially Danielle being in this class. And it was interesting because I really got to see a different side of her identity, not just of the other students that I knew, but she's such a bubbly, bright girl. And the fact that she could portray a character who is so dark and so different than what she normally is like when I'm talking to her in class was really interesting to me. And that's how I feel like identity is really represented in the play because I know these students and they're not gothic, they don't wear black, and they're not very angry people. And they all really took on the characters so well. That and the lighting were my favorite parts of the play, were because the lighting in the setting of the stage just completely took it to the whole next level. Because if you did the lighting in a different way, it would not have made the play such a dark scene. And though it was so dark with the comedy, it was just the way it changed was very interesting through the whole way. Um, let's see. I like how Wednesday struggles with her identity because she's from a wealthy family, but they're just different. They are dark and twisted in a sense. And even though she has money, she's still self conscious of him and does not want to bring her new boyfriend Lucas around. And I thought it was very also interesting how Lucas was self conscious of his family because he's from Ohio, the Midwest, and he doesn't have as much money. They're both self conscious of their families and their identities in different ways, but they are who they are, and that kind of situation brought them together and it brought their families together. And I think that Lucas honestly struggled more with his identity because with the money situation and him not being from where everyone else is from, like that's a very big identity factor. And I didn't realize that that is something that could change your identity so much. Like the way a person behaves is completely different. And I didn't realize that money ever could have a factor in that. I think also for prompt two, when it was bringing up about whether or not some of the pico de gallo type situations were insulting to the Spanish community, and I don't think that it was at all. I think, if anything, it was something that the writer of the Addams Family did to engage all different types of audiences. I mean, he hit teenage girls, he hit people not being happy with their family, like you get people with not as much money. There's so many things that the writer, did to influence others watching this play or watching the movie or the show. And I think when I was looking around at when these like comments were made, I definitely made note of it to see. And the Spanish people who were in the crowd were laughing and they were not upset or anything by it. So I don't think the play or movie would have made it that far if it was something that was culturally like rude to them. It's just so I don't think that was a problem at all. But I would rate the play 7 out of 10 because it was I'm a harsh grader, but it was definitely my favorite play that I've seen at Chico.